Hi everyone. Good morning. It's Rita and Teddy Bear, and it's mostly Teddy Bear doing the barking. But Benji's here too, and it is Tuesday morning. Let's see, the 15th. And I wanted to welcome you to this morning's Cricut Chat. We're going to be doing some really fun cards from a relatively old image set called Creepy Critters, which I just love. I love this cartridge. I've loved it since it came out. It has cards on it, yes, but also has gift tags. So if you do like little bags of candy, you can make little gift tags. I've done that for when my son was in grade school and put his name on the back kind of thing. It also has these really cute little boxes, like I guess they're treat boxes too. And I wanted to show you how you would achieve some of the cuts on this, because even though these look like relatively simple designs, some of the cuts are very intricate. And here's an example of one. You see all of that cutting that's happening in between all the layers here between all the letters here for Happy Halloween. It requires a lot of the machine to sort of get in and around all those layers and so letters, and the same is true for this one, which has a beautiful spider web and this very intricate spider. And let's see, there are a couple of others that this one, the cat one, which I just adore, so cute. Actually put him on backwards, facing the wrong way now that I look at it. But all of this cutting in between here can be a little bit challenging when you're using regular settings on your machine. So I'm going to show you how to use a different setting that will cut these out without causing your blade to drag, which sometimes causes either the paper to get sort of crunched up, or maybe it doesn't cut all the way through. What are some other things? So it's not your blade. If you go and do these and you're concerned because you have, some sort of problem cutting through on some of these things, maybe like a letter doesn't get the little inside part of it cut out, then if you're worried about that and you think, is it my blade ripping paper? Yeah, you're thinking, is it my blade? Well, I've got really good news for you. Most of the time, it's not your blade. Most of the time, you have to consider the design and use a different setting to achieve the cut. Another famous example of this is anything Anna Griffin, like a lovely layered card, which is very like lace-like, very intricate, can be challenging for your machine. It's not that it can't be achieved, you just have to do certain things. Now, before we get started on where to find these and how to put them together and all of that, let me just say good morning to all my friends. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Tara, Sarah, Melissa, LaDawn, hello, Kimberly, Sarah, Victoria, David, hi, Anne and Maria, Annette, Diane. All of my friends are here today. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Diane Woods. So we are... Yeah, and we can talk about that, Maria. Maria's saying black paper is the worst it gets. And I have to agree on that. There is something about the makeup of the black paper, especially the stuff from Michaels. And if you feel the paper, it actually has a different feel to it. This is some Michaels paper, and it does have a bit of a different feel to it versus the white or the black. it's a little bit shinier and softer. I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. It's kind of one of those, we'll always probably have questions about it, but it can be difficult to do intricate cutting. And so I wanted to show you a little bit about that. I want to show you where to find these. And also I'm going to show you a trick if you want to put a sentiment, a written sentiment on the inside as well. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so this particular image set is called Creepy Critters. So let me just move these all over here, because when we pull it back into our canvas, we don't want it to get all confusing looking. So I am just grouping these, and I will erase them here. And these are a couple of sentiments. Group them. I'm going to show you where to find those sentiments as well. Okay, so we're going to go to images. Pretend we're starting with a brand new canvas. So we're going to go to images up here on the left-hand side. And I will show you that if you wanted to just do these cards, you can search for them in a number of different ways. For instance, in the basic search, you could maybe type in Halloween cat or ghost, something like that. You could do that. You can also search under holidays, which you see in holidays, it actually has a view more, and you can choose Halloween and you could search there. But since we know that this image set, we know the name, because I know the name of this image set, the easiest way, this is the holidays, right? The easiest way for me to communicate these with you is by the image set. And just to kind of, if you're brandy new with Cricut, you probably don't remember, but they used to run their machines on a cartridge. It's kind of a horseshoe shaped thing. You'd stick it in the machine and you'd actually run the machines by that. And so they had these cartridges that had images based on a theme or a designer or whatever. And they were called cartridges, and they were like a bunch of images on this thing. So when they went to online cutting, they didn't know what to do with all those old images. So they converted the cartridges to image sets. That's the easiest way to explain it. And so in my head, the way that I think of image sets are, most of them are either the older cartridges which have a ton of great images on them, or they're by like a certain theme. Maybe it's a holiday, or maybe it's a certain designer. So you look for image sets by going to highlighted categories and choosing image sets. And this is, you can either scroll through these and look at all of them, and there's over 3,000 of them. Or if you have a name or an idea of the name of the image set, and that's what's important, is that you have to use a word that it would be, the entire cartridge would be named. So for example, believe it or not, if you typed in Halloween here, you would get 45 results, but you don't get any of these cards, right? Look, see, you don't get any of these cards. That's because these images are on a cartridge or image set called Creepy Critters. So you would type in one or both of those words, creepy. Oh, I didn't spell it right. Creepy. Okay. And you got Creepy Critters is one, and Creepy Halloween Creatures, which is the second one. So Creepy Critters doesn't have the word Halloween in it. So you might not have found this on your own, but now you know. And let's click on this image set. I'll show you what we get as a result. So we have our cards. And you'll see that there's themes. So for instance, they have like a ghost one, they have the spider one, the witch one, and then you'll see that they have also individual images. They have the gift tags, and here are cards. So that's the ghost and the kitty cat, scaredy cat, and they have these broken down into individual pieces as well. So if you just want to cut this, for instance, if you have a joy and you can't cut the actual card, the base of the card, but you want to replicate the spider web one, you would choose this image here and maybe find the spider up here, and you would choose that, okay? And then if you wanted to do the entire card on your maker or your Explore, you would choose the one that looks as if it's a card. Okay, so and then here are the tags, and these are the little treat bags that I told you about. So if you were to select, say, where's our little treat bag? Here, the cat one. So we can select that just so that you can see what that looks like. And we'll also select one of these tags as well. So let's pull those in. Now, I'm not sure what size they come in at, but I find that an A2 size is perfect for this card because you can cut two of them on one sheet of 8.5 by 11. I don't obviously we had this conversation before. I don't usually cut envelopes because I just buy them. So what happens is if I pull in a card, I will ungroup them and I will just delete the envelope. If you want to keep the envelope, that's fine, but I just don't do that. So here is our card. It's 3 pieces. You got this piece, and you've got this sort of intricate top piece, and then this yellow piece that I like to cut out in glitter. It looks so cool. This sort of greeny, glowy glitter. And let's just go over here so you can see. So here is one of the tags, and it's just real simple. Look, it's got the black piece. I don't need to show you how to cut that. But, and then this is the little bags, and it's cut with the handle, and then you just cut it out and put it together. So just so you know, that's what is also on this card image set. Okay, so here is the thing. It comes in, the entire card comes in as with a width of 10 and a height of 7. So it's our typical 5 by 7 inch card. I think these cards look better small. So I like to cut them, and also I like to, save materials too. So I like to cut these as A2 cards, which is 4, right here, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now, that's always going to be an A2 card. An A2 card, believe it or not, is if you take an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock, which we use a lot here. If you just cut it straight in half and fold it, it creates 2 cards. So if you're working with a joy and you can't create this square, using this big of a piece, you can just cut it in half with your Cricut personal trimmer, and you have the card base. So that's what I was talking about, where if this in particular, this card you wanted to do, and you have a joy, all you'd have to do is cut out the cat part and then the moon part, and then you would create your own card, or you could use the insert cards that you get in the packs. Okay, so to resize this, and we're doing this on the maker today, I want the width to be 8.5. Why is it going to be 8.5? Well, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 this way. So when you open up the entire card, you will measure this to see it's 8.5 inches. So we're going to go up here under the width, and I'm going to change it to 8.5, and then hold on, let me get then my height comes in. It comes in a little bit over the 5.5, which I would probably go and unlock this and change it to 5.5 because I want 2 to fit on one paper, 2 to fit on one page. Okay, so when we go to cut this, I can change the project copies to 2. I'm using a piece of 8.5 by 11. See, that's my one piece of 8.5 by 11. And this is my 2 moons that can be cut on another piece. And then here's my piece of my 2 card bases. Now, the way that this is set up on the page it can cut off if you're using an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. So if you didn't want to take the chance, which I always do, but if you didn't want to take the chance, you could change your material size to 8.5 by 11 by going over here to material size and choosing 8.5 by 11, which is also known as letter size. So now it's going to go this way. Well, to me, that's a bit of a waste of material. So I'm going to go back to 12 by 12, which is what it comes in at. And you'll notice that it's a little over that 11 inch because there is a small border here. So if I were going to cut this out in an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet, because I'm frugal and I want to save a little bit of materials, what I would do is I would put my paper here and allow for that 1/4 inch material setting all the way down. So now basically I've mimicked what's here. Okay. The next thing we want to consider is how we cut it out. So for this case, these are the cats. I'm sorry, I should have chosen something that didn't have a black, but this is the cat and it's very intricate. Okay. And so what we want to do is when we get to the place where we're going to cut it, we need to use a special setting. So the setting, this is what we're talking about if you were shredding paper, cutting paper. The setting you want to use, and this is available in all 3 of the machines, the Explorer, the Maker, and the Joy. And you want to go to your material setting, or you can set it as a favorite, as we've talked about. I have it as a favorite, but you can browse, or you can type in like Cardstock, and here it is. It's called Cardstock for Intricate Cuts. Now, I've seen people ask me, can you slow your machine down? That's kind of what this setting does. It slows the machine down, allows for the blade to come up and down into all those intricate, little tiny cuts. It also doesn't push it down as far, so it does it twice. So for instance, let's do this one. We'll choose Cardstock for Intricate Cuts. Now, I wouldn't recommend you use this setting for everything simply because it's slower. So what I would do starting off on this particular project is I would cut this out with Cardstock for Intricate Cuts. And then when it came time to do the second one, depending on if I cut it out in a glitter, I would change the material. So if I did glitter or if I did regular medium cardstock, I would click on the base material setting. You see that? Let me just go back and so I can show you. So here, pretend like we've cut out the first sheet that had all that intricate cutting on it, this one here. Now we're on the second mat and we have still the material set for Cardstock for Intricate Cuts. You can change that by clicking on the base material and then choosing the next material. And you can do this for every mat. So you don't need to separate mats based on how you're going to cut it. And it's a really easy way to achieve like a real nice mixed media type of thing with your card cutting. So I'm going to just throw the black into the machine for these kitty cats, and we'll let it go on. I'm going to show you, it goes a little slower. You may be able to notice that. So let's choose, for the kitty cats, we'll choose Cardstock for intricate cuts. I'm going to move you over now, okay? Whip, whip. Okay, here we go. So there's my maker. And I have my paper on there. All right? And I'm just going to put it in. And it's set for Cardstock for intricate cuts, and I'll get it going. And I don't know if you can tell the difference. If you've been working with your machine for a really long time, you can sort of tell, but it does take its time to get in all the nooks and crannies of the cutout. And here is a one that I did right before coming on. That was the Happy Halloween. I'll show you that. So it's a little slower. I would definitely not use fast cut with this because it kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, so here is the Halloween one, you see, that has all those letters. And remember, we're going to turn or like bend or what do you call it? Fold, bend. I'm having trouble with words today. But we're going to roll the mat instead of trying to roll the piece of paper off, because we've got some pretty elaborate cuts there, and I want to make sure my spider doesn't fall off. All right, so look at how wonderfully this cut all those letters. Just perfect, really. And it was cut, let me just get my spider off, and it was cut with, oops, my spider's still stuck there. Okay, it was cut with that intricate cut setting. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it was cut with this intricate cut setting, which I thought was really neat, and actually cut this out opposite of what the machine told me to cut, which was to, instead of doing in black, I did in orange. I think that's cool. Hey, Lynn. So this is the one done in black. But this is all achieved by the intricate cut setting. So while we're watching, or we're, watching that cut, I'm going to show you how to put them together. They're pretty easy to put together. So I think there's 4 or 5 different cards I can show you. This Happy Halloween. There's the ghost. There's this really pretty invitation. And then there's this witch and the cat. They're really easy once you can get them cut out. The ghost goes together. It's just, this is actually the most different of all of the cards, but the ghost goes together as, this is your card blank, and then you would put this piece here and glue the ghost on. Really cute. Let's see, and this one is, this one is this one. Okay, so there's our card base. Again, you can cut the card base with your machine, or you can use your personal trimmer and cut them from an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. And there is our Happy Halloween. And look, I cut it in this kind of creepy, eerie glitter. And it shows off the faces. I really like that. Let's see. This one was really intricate to cut. And I unfortunately used a very thick piece. Look at how thick this piece was. So I actually put it through a second time, and it cut out really well, except for these little tiny pieces here. But this goes together this way, has a little piece here, and it goes right there, right? And there's the cat one, which we'll put together for real. So the cat one's kind of fun. Here's our 8.5 by 11 inch sheet, cut in half and folded. And then there's the moon, which I also cut in a glitter. So let's put a little bit of glue on the back of the moon. And I'm going to put the moon sort of in the middle there. And then here's our cat. So that way it appears behind the cat. Isn't that cool? So then we're going to use our glue. We're going to be very careful because, again, this is intricately cut. So we're just going to dab little dots of glue. You don't want it to seep out, but if it does, you know, you can try to wipe it away. But when you're doing intricate cuts, that's the other challenge. Okay, so just a few little dots, small as can be, on our branches, even on the cat's tail and whiskers. Okay. Any piece that might stick out, like this branch, that has a little too much glue on there, and a corgi hair. And then we just flip it over and sort of line it up on the card. These cards, oh, look, see what I did? I swished around the glue, but you can just go ahead and use a finger, or what I often do is take my little pick and I just kind of pick out the extra glue that might come out through the cracks there, like that. If you smear it with your fingers, that tends to be problematic, and it leaves like a little spot there. But you know what? Hey, if you do it, that's okay too. Don't go redoing it because it will dry, and even the most artistic of crafters will forgive you for having a little bit of glue showing through. This stuff dries clear. Our cat has finished cutting out, and I just want to show you, this is that intricate cut again, and we're going to band the mat. See that? We're bending the mat, making sure that when we take it off, we're going slow. Now, I hadn't thought of it until now, but I wonder if you couldn't cut this from vinyl and put it on your paper. I think that might be fun, or maybe even iron on. That might be a different idea to do. But these just go together very quickly. Usually they're just 3 colors or 2 colors, and they go together really nicely. It's just a matter of choosing the right setting. So here's my Happy Halloween in the black, or I could do the Happy Halloween in the orange, like this. So you have some freedom of creative license here. Flip it over, and let's put our glitter cardstock. So this is one of those minimal materials, and as long as you know how to manipulate the machine, you're going to have some pretty amazing results. I also want to show you about, so here we go. There you go. Like this. Put a little bit of glue. Oops, it didn't stick. Glitter cardstock sometimes needs a little extra push there. Okay, and then put your glue, dotting it, and just dot it on those letters, okay? You don't need a lot, just a teeny tiny dot. And then all around, down here you can be a little more free. All right. There we go. There you go. Just pat those letters in. There you go. All right, so let me also show you where you can find some pre-made sentiments for Halloween. And also, if you wanted to, you can create your own. Let me just show you real quick on how to do that, okay? So, in my travels and looking around, I was looking for some kind of cool sentiments to put on the inside of these cards. And I actually found, whoop, I just dropped something. I actually found something when you go to images, image sets, and we go to Anna Griffin. So there are a couple of really cool sentiments that are in lovely layered, that are Halloween, very specific. So our lovely layered cards. If you click on that, you will find Happy Halloween, but there's also, let's see, there's another one that was pretty cool. I forget which one. Oh, maybe it wasn't here. It might have been in the Lovely Layers 2, where there's actually a Halloween card that I was going to, when we have some time, I was going to show you that one. Here we go. Lovely Layered cards 2. There is one that says, where is it? Ghostly Greetings, or let's see, where is it? Have a delightfully frightful Halloween. So you don't have to use this sentiment on just Anna cards. You can pull it in, and once you do, let's go back to see our cat. You're going to want to ungroup the card, move these things out of the way. Remember, this doesn't have to be the front of the card. It can be the inside of the card, right? So you just put the sentiment there, then you're going to group these two pieces and do attach, which is down here. So that's how you're able to attach a sentiment. And when you cut it out, because you're cutting out in solid, you just fold it with the sentiment on the inside, and then you put the cat on the front of the card, okay? So that's it for today. These are really quick cards. So the number one tip is if you're having problems where you're ripping paper, or the needle is dragging, or it's not cutting all the way through, don't immediately think, oh gosh, my blade needs to be changed. Yeah, your blades do need to be changed every once in a while, and blades do seem to dull, especially with paper crafts. And so, you do have to be mindful of that. But for the most part, if you choose things like intricate cut for cardstock as a setting, you are going to be fine, and you'll be able to do these very intricately cut cards without dragging or cutting your paper. That's it for today. Let's see, tomorrow I think we're going to do some 3D letters, which come from Lori Whitlock, and I wanted to ask someone if they perhaps, hi Ladra, if they could contact me sort of offline, maybe Lori Joe. I wanted to see if maybe you could contact me offline, because I want to see something. But I'm going to show you 3D letters. We're going to spell out fall and use fall papers, and that's by Lori Whitlock, okay? Thanks everybody for coming today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.